You just wrapped on a project that's in theaters now?
Yes. The movie is called independent film. It got purchased by Anchor Bay Studios. It's called 10 Years. It's basically a high school reunion, but it has ridiculous amount of star power to it. From Channing Tatum to Rosario Dawson to Jenna Tatum to Ari Grainer, Aaron Yu, Scott Porter, Ron Livingston, Anthony Mackie, Brian Garrity. Oh man, Chris Pratt, Aaron Yu, me, Mackie. Oh, there's so many names in this movie. Ron Livingston. Directed by Jamie Linden, who he wrote We Are Marshall, Dear John. And yeah, he wrote and directed this great ensemble of cast, and it was improv. A lot of it was improv. Majority of it was improv. There was a script. It was basically a 2.5 months of, intense star power and around this, this guy from Miami, Florida, who was just soaking it all in. Very intimidating every day. But once you get comfortable, it's kind of one of those things. It's like, okay, let's get this ball going. Let's do it. But the names, that came with this movie was just unbelievable. Just to be part of it, I was just like, oh my God, this is it. But oh man, it was tough. I'll just say that. The first couple of days were pretty tough because the star power they're used to this. So I had to start off the morning going through my routine, and then of course throwing up a little bit, but and then get right over it. Butterflies. First couple of days were rough, but I got over it.
And what did you learn from watching all of those names on set?
A lot of those, it's tough because it was such a big, huge cast. So it was kind of one of those things where I had to nitpick certain people's brains whenever I get the chance to. Since it was a cast of 18 actors, it's kind of hard to do that. But being around, and plus you're in a town like Albuquerque, New Mexico, you're stuck. So you have to kind of like blend and learn. I learned a lot from certain actors. Certain actors were kind of private to themselves, so you don't know how they got to their routine. And some of them I got to notice and learn and kind of imitate a little. It was like, oh, hey, I did the same thing. I'm like, okay. But being around that power, I can never take that experience away. That was just unbelievable.
What did you see them do that were they the ones that were always studying their script? They weren't just casting it aside. Well, I mean, you said it was improv, so what were they doing to get into that character?
My favorite story was this guy, unbelievable actor, Chris Pratt. He's on a show called Parks and Recreation. And I'm watching him, in his scene, he's very intoxicated. But in one scene, he's like supposed to be over the limit. And I'm noticing him doing certain things like, having ice in his mouth, numbing his mouth, him slapping his face around, making his face like reddish. I'm like, wow, this guy's really getting into character. He's hopping around. Then suddenly action, and he's completely into it. And I was like, wow, this guy's brilliant. It just took him literally a couple minutes just to get into that zone. Then suddenly he was just in it immediately. And once they cut, he goes into it, goes to his routine again, and goes right back into it. It was a lesson learned. You're like, okay, I got leaps and bounds to go. All you need is the opportunity. But yeah, I learned a lot.
What was your character?
My character, I played, we're all basically friends, just reuniting at the reunion. And I play like a real close friend to Anthony Mackie and Brian Garrity's character. And Garrity brings his wife, who is played by Aubrey Plaza. And and then the story takes off from there. So, you play off that.
And how did you get into your character if it's mostly improv? What are you doing?
Well, the thing that was cool about it is that the director wrote the story. Basically, the character's name is me, so I really didn't have to do too much. I mean, the toughest part is that you're there shooting it for 2 months. Each day is, it's supposed to be a party, so, when you're partying, it's cool. And I'm not like, one of those guys who drinks a lot. So I had to get into drinking, and that's tough for me. So I got into that for the whole set, and that's one thing, I'll say it was pretty fun because you want to be into the moment. So every night was one of those, keep the party going. We're all good friends and stayed this way for a while.
What did the director do to build like a camaraderie on the set so that it really looked Like your girlfriends?
Well, the good thing was it was winter and it was Albuquerque, so it's cold. And there's not too many things to do because the university, everybody's home away. So we were in downtown in a hotel, which we shot in. So our rooms are already there. So we really didn't leave. So you're basically there for 2 months stuck in this place because there's nothing to do really. So that's the greatest part about it. You're forced to become, either buddies or real close friends because, you communicate with each other every day.
So you're there 2 months?
Yeah. Yeah. Almost 2 months.
And you fly back to LA. Do you feel like your life is going the way you want it, or were you like, now what's next? What was going through your mind?
Right, it's funny you say that. Well, we had a rap party in Vegas, which was cool, so they flew us out there, and then we came back here. It was funny because I had to come back praying that I had my 9-to-5 job because I'd been a long way so long. They flew us out in an expensive jet, which was crazy, and then I immediately went home, came here, got dressed, and went straight to my 9-to-5 job. It was like from, if you believe in heaven and hell, it was exactly like that in that whole instance. But the whole time I was thinking when we were rapping was like, okay, everybody here is already established actor. They're going on to their next project, so this is nothing for them. Me, I gotta pray that I get something else, or now I have to attack the block and see what's next. Yeah, that's what was my mindset as soon as I got back.